Someone get me a beer. Hang on, I'm going to get a beer. Hang on. I'm getting a beer. If I'm going to do this, I'm drinking. I'm not doing this without at least something cold. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yo. What's going on, Hog fans? Let me get this corrected here. Get you over here. There you go. All right. I'm not even kidding. As in the final minutes of that game, right as the clock hit 0, my books on the shelves back there, they fell over. Like right as you heard the like all the shelves just fell over. Yeah, it's 1:30. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So we'll just start off by saying, yeah, we know SEC officiating is garbage. We know that. Like, nobody should be surprised by that. Nobody should be shocked. It was bad, but it's not the sole reason why you lost this game. And I said this in the Hog Talk group chat. I think this is the worst loss under Eric Musselman. It was the worst loss. Statistically, him getting ejected with, 4.5, 5 minutes left to go. I didn't like that. I know it gave the team some spunk, but I do agree. Kyle said you need to lose with some class, and I think he's right. I don't like that he got ejected. I get it. Guy doesn't like to lose. And I love him being so fiery, right? It's one of the reasons why the Hogs have improved so much. You got a coach that shows emotion over on the bench, and the guy is not afraid to get in the official's face and give him his 2 cents. I have no problem with that. But you got teed up and ejected. That's when you just take it too far. So, that call and note was shit, says Jenna Mayes. All right, you guys, do me a favor. I'm so pissed, tired of being Missouri's. Yeah, Mizzou is beating you in everything. Outside of baseball, Mizzou, and I don't even know what the record is in baseball against Mizzou. I don't know that they've ever won a series against Arkansas in baseball, but in football and in basketball. And I think Mizzou, it's like who's ever at home wins this game. So if you think Arkansas is going to beat them in game 2, I don't like your odds, although you should have Justin Smith back by then. Yeah. Let that sink in. Mizzou has beaten you in everything. What is going on? Sometimes you just got to go back and watch the 94, the Bud Walton, when they opened up Bud Walton and they played Mizzou to open that thing up. And Mizzou was good that year. I think they went to the Sweet 16? And Arkansas ran them out of the building. Arkansas definitely a far better, when you talk about historical, far better program in football and basketball. But for whatever reason, you struggle against them in these two sports right now. So we got a long ways to go to the next time you play them, but you will play them on the road in a place where, they did get spanked at home by Tennessee by 20. Maybe it's a year where they're not good at home. Who knows? Maybe that's the case, or Tennessee's just that good. All right. Do me a favor. Do me a solid. Like the video. We got to get these likes up. Remember to tap the like. Share the content. Tap the subscribe button if you haven't already. Feel free to check out all the links provided for you down below. This is not exactly how I wanted to start off 2021, but you can't win them all. Nobody goes undefeated. Am I shocked that Arkansas lost this game? No. This is I don't think, and I'm going to stand by this, I don't think Mizzou, especially, they have zero threat out in the perimeter. Like, they have no threat. They're special. What they're good at is playing in the paint. Tillman, who had his way with Arkansas inside, but that's their specialty, is being able to get things moving and gelling inside in the paint. They're not a perimeter threat team, and they play outstanding defense. They can force turnovers, takeaways. They can get you into foul trouble. They do these things pretty well. Arkansas, just not having Justin Smith was a problem. Yes, the officiating was it was bad. And I even thought Arkansas got away with some calls and Mizzou got away with some stuff. But I think the thing that drove me drove me insane, was anytime Mizzou drove the lane, you couldn't touch them. Like, you're not allowed. And I was surprised Vanover had a strip in the first half. I don't think he played terribly defensively, although he gave Tillman an open dunk there in the I think, what was that, the beginning of the second half or the end of the first half, somewhere in there. Overall, I thought, defensively, Arkansas did about as well as you could without Justin Smith out there. But yeah, Connor had a strip, and I was surprised that wasn't a foul, because that probably could have been a legitimate foul call. There were a couple of strips. I think Note had one that could have been called for a foul. But other than that, it seemed like Arkansas just was not allowed to try and play aggressive inside. They couldn't touch Tillman. How many shots did he take at the free throw line? I mean, a lot, right? I mean, Tillman had a career game, or a season high game tonight. I think he averages like 9 points a game or something. He could have had 30. The guy could have had 30 points tonight. And that just goes to show you that, number one, Connor Vanover, he can force you to alter shots, but if you want to power your way inside, you can do it against Connor. He's only a matchup nightmare. Number one, when he's actually hitting threes out in the perimeter, he stretches you out on defense, and that was the biggest problem. There was no threat outside for Arkansas. That part of their game was gone. Wasn't there. You got to give Mizzou credit. They played outstanding, aggressive defense. But yeah, I really thought Arkansas would win this thing by 6, 7, 8 points. I knew it would be tight. I mean, Mizzou is a good team. They're a top 25 caliber team. I don't know about a top 12, but they're a top 25 caliber team. You had a shot at getting ranked for the first time since 2015. Had you won today, not going to happen. Your first half performance eventually led to kind of how this game turned out. The fact that you were so ice cold, even on open looks out in the perimeter, still couldn't knock down the three. Moody was off for the most part. Again, Connor ice cold. Nobody could just seem like it seemed like about 80% of their shots were contested. Again, you got to give Mizzou a lot of credit. I think they are a better team this year, and I didn't think that coming into this game. I really didn't, but coming out of it, without Justin Smith, I think they are a better team. With Justin Smith, I don't know how this thing could have ended. I really don't. I mean, he is a difference maker on the floor, especially against teams that are big, strong, and physical inside like Mizzou is, between Brown and Tillman. He would have matched up really well. And again, Connor played, I thought, pretty good defense. He was just terrible on the offensive end. I'm getting a little bit tired of seeing bigs take like 8 3-point shot attempts every game. I get wanting to stretch them out. That is something that Jalen, a part of his game on the offensive end, that he offers. But Arkansas was so ice cold underneath, and they couldn't drive the lane and draw as many fouls as they wanted. I know that's what was really getting under Musselman's skin. If you noticed, especially in the last, 9, 10, 11 minutes of this game, they were driving. They were trying to draw fouls. They were trying to get Tillman off the floor, trying to get Brown, trying to get the bigs into foul trouble, and they just couldn't do it. That was driving Musselman crazy. And again, that's credit to what Mizzou was doing defensively, rotating guys in and out underneath, switching guys out from the 5 and 4 spot. But yeah, that had to be driving Musselman crazy. That's the worst game I've seen Arkansas play under Musselman, if I'm being honest. Again, that Tennessee game a year ago was on the road. Tennessee wasn't exactly great last year, but they were pretty good at home. I I mean, they were okay at home. I think they had. I mean, they lost games at home, and that wasn't a pretty game by any stretch of the imagination. But if I remember right, Arkansas got into foul trouble. It was just an ugly game tonight. No matter what optic you choose to look through, this to me was just. It was terrible. Your shooting was just awful. Let me read chat here. Like the video. Yeah, please do. 45 watching, 15 likes. Yeah, let's get the likes up. Mizzou starting lineup from last year returned this year. Vets against our new and young team. That is also very true. They're experienced. The leap that they've made from last year to this year is impressive. I mean, you got to give Mizzou credit. Mizzou does not look like a top 25 team to me. They do to me. I think they're a legit top 25 team. They went toe-to-toe. I do think, in terms of ceiling, Arkansas's talent is higher than Mizzou's. But right now, the way they're playing, they're a top 25 team. Tennessee is going to beat some schools, some more SEC schools by 15, by 20. They're what we thought Kentucky would be this year. And here's what needs to happen for Arkansas. They need to learn from this loss the same way Mizzou lost, the way they learned from their loss against Tennessee. And this game could have easily been a 25-point loss. When you consider how bad Arkansas played, it very well could have been a really, really bad loss. Mizzou officiating didn't help you. Well, no, it didn't. I said that earlier. Officiating was a problem. And you're going to have to overcome SEC officiating. You don't expect that at home, though. And I noticed this last year. You're supposed to get home cooking. Everybody does. They do that to chill the fans out a little bit, to get the coaching staff, to get Musselman off their back. They give you a little bit of home cooking. And you got a little bit tonight, but it's like it didn't matter. Every foul that was called on Mizzou, they turned around on the other side of the court and called on Arkansas, and then it became, Arkansas just can't touch them. They can't touch Tillman. In the first half, Tillman's going for a rebound. He's falling backwards, clearly makes an aggressive play for an open ball, and falls on an Arkansas defender, and we get called for the foul. I think it was either Tate, maybe Moses Moody, I can't remember. And I'm like, what? Like, what? You don't need home cooking for that. You don't need home cooking for that. That was a missed call. It was a bad call. I don't chalk this up to officiating why you lost. You lost because of, stat sheet don't lie. Film don't lie. Ball don't lie. Arkansas lost this game. I don't know if they needed this loss and maybe it's going to bring them down a little bit, bring them back down to earth. Maybe they needed this loss. Maybe now they'll wake up and they'll play better than we expect them to against Tennessee. Boy, it gets tough. It only gets tougher. You got Tennessee. I think Georgia's after that. Connor needs to get stronger. Connor needs to add some man weight. He's just there's no underneath power from Connor. I think he has like a 4-inch vertical. Arkansas's inability to finish at the rim is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. They have got to be the worst team in the SEC when it comes to playing underneath and around the rim. With your size, you've got 6'10", 7'3", your guards are long and lean. Like, you're not a small team, and to be that bad at finishing at the rim is embarrassing. And it's another reason, like Mizzou, you handed them so many defensive rebounds because of your inability to make anything happen. On the defensive end, defensive rebounding wasn't horrible. It just wasn't as good. And again, Mizzou, there were times when you're bigger than Mizzou is underneath and you're getting out-rebounded and they're getting second-chance shots. I can't for the life of me figure out why they're so bad. And that includes Moses Moody, Desi Seals, JD Note. Like, they are terrible. They are terrible at the rim. They cannot finish off. They I don't know. I could go on and on. I didn't expect them to be this bad at finishing at the rim, and they are. They've got to be one of the worst teams in the SEC. They're going to have to get that fixed because here's why. When you go cold outside, you're going to have to force things inside. You're going to have to use the mismatch that you should have, even in the SEC with size. You're going to need to lean on that, and you can't because you miss layups and easy putbacks. Do they hit a couple of putbacks every once in a while? Yeah. Justin Smith, for those of you who don't know, will miss the next 3 to 5 weeks. Devo got the start tonight. I don't know. We didn't see. I don't think Jackson played. I don't know that he played. Did he play at all? I think I saw Ethan Henderson there. I'm surprised we didn't see Ethan Henderson earlier in the half. This is going to be an issue. And I said on the podcast on the Friday show, I felt pretty good that Arkansas was going to look really good at home. Maybe win out. Maybe only lose a couple of games at home, which still could be the case. I don't know that you have another tough matchup like this at home outside of maybe Florida. Of course, you go on the road for your Big 12 SEC matchup against Oklahoma State. I have the schedule up. I don't know why I'm not looking at it. Well, I had it up. But I still like what they can do at home. I think they learn from this. I hope they learn from this game. There's a lot to learn from. And that includes, Musselman. Let's not get ejected with 5 or 6 minutes left to go in the game. I like that Arkansas showed a lot of fight. I don't know why ESPN stat sheet's not pulling up. I'm not digging that. I can't get ESPN stat sheet to pull up. Well, as much as I want to go over these numbers, can I go under schedule here? But you hope that Arkansas can learn. You're about to go on the road, and I am worried that this is going to be an ugly back-to-back loss situation here. And I don't think it's, depending on what happens on the road against Tennessee, just try to, cover the spread or don't lose by 30. Don't lose by 20 points. Go in there and show some fight. You got Georgia at home. I think that game's winnable. Georgia's record, I don't think Georgia... I don't think their record indicates what they really are. Then you're back on the road against LSU and Bama. Then you're back at home against Auburn, who you beat on the road. Ole Miss at home is after that. And then you have Mississippi State at home, Texas A&M at home. I feel good about these games. I really do. I don't look at these home games, and even after tonight, consider how badly you played tonight. And you hung in there, and they played through the final second half. They kept playing. They don't give up, and they do have the talent. They do have the depth. They do have the size. They're going to be a problem. But I'm looking at this home schedule. Florida and LSU gives you a little bit of concern. I think Florida, we're going to start hearing more and more about them. Of course, you play Kentucky on the road this year. If pre-conference play is any indication, which it rarely is for Kentucky, but if it's any indication as far as what's to come next for them, that should be a winnable. That's a gettable game, even at Rupp. But yeah, I like your home schedule. I like it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are as bad as what we saw today. Maybe Mizzou gave everyone film. Hey, here's what you need to do. Kind of like what Arkansas did on defense against Mississippi State in football. After that game, Mississippi State couldn't score on anybody. They were horrible on offense. So maybe maybe the film from today gives everyone what they need. Basketball works a little bit differently though, especially because you can create mismatches, especially with the kind of depth that you have. And again, talent. I'm going to keep saying that. You have legitimate talent. They just today, just clearly not. The stat sheets are still not pulling up. What is going on? Well, anyways, there's a lot of things that need to be addressed. I hope Musselman wakes them up in the locker room after this game. I'm sure he did. I hope it's a hard week of workouts and practice for these guys to get ready for Tennessee. If you get blown out on the road, fans are going to start to get a little fickle, and they're not going to buy in as much, right? Not that it matters, because it's not like a whole lot of people can go to games anyways. Tennessee is going to we said that about Georgia last year, and they beat the brakes off of us. I underestimate no one. Well, again, I'm just saying as far as the optics, like, I think Georgia's a beatable game. I do. I'm not that. Who knows? Georgia's Georgia. I mean, they have some talent, but fact is, we shit the bed today. Well, yeah. Yes. Desi played like ass. Vanover couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Hey, Ty, what's the Discord? I got banned from Tardville. Oh, no, you got banned from Hogville, huh? Hang on. Let me get that for you really quick. We're your runner-up to Hogville, huh? I got banned from there, so yeah, I guess I'll come into your Discord, I guess. There it is. Thomas Nunley says, kind of like the fight from Muss with the officiating. Probably only way they will ever clean that crap up. No, it's not. I really think, I don't know they ever will clean it up. I don't think they ever will. I mean, you've got these coaches send in complaints probably every game. I don't know that it ever changes. Why? I mean, the SEC, they really don't care. Now Kentucky's losing, and if you don't think that hurts the SEC's bottom line, it most certainly does. Those big-time matchups mean absolutely nothing unless they get it turned around. Maybe your top-tier team's losing when it starts impacting the wallet. Maybe then they'll make changes. Desi played like ass. I already read that. Got pushed around and punched in the mouth. Just failed to respond. I agree. Injuries will always be a major factor as far as depth goes. Well, yeah. Absolutely. Rebounding was yes and no. On a positive note, Arkansas has a new drive of sadomasochistic fans joining our fan base. All SEC teams are tough. Don't matter what the record is, to be honest. Let's hope Texas screws up their coaching search. Yeah, I saw Sarkisian was rumored to take the job. I don't know. Now I saw where who was it? Oh, the tight end from Georgia that used to play. Now he's on SEC Network. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Anyways, I saw that he reported that he backed down. Too many of those other guys had the pick and popped down for Mizzou. Must be a team full of seniors. They have a lot of experience back. Mizzou does. Mizzou has a lot of experience back. A lot of their roster back. But yeah, I think some of you guys are thinking that I'm saying that Arkansas definitely wins out at home. I'm not saying that, and I'm definitely not underestimating the SEC. I'm telling you, with what I've watched, with what I've seen, we're comparing last year also, by the way, what Georgia did to that last year's team. In college basketball, every year is – I mean, look at the difference this year. You don't have Mason Jones. You don't have Isaiah Joe, but instead – your overall top to bottom, including your 5-6 guys you rotate in, are far more talented, taller, leaner, more athletic than what you had to work with a year ago. And that's what I do know. Connor Vanover, say what you want about him, and I agree. He is I don't know how he's 7'3" and he's so bad at the rim. When he's cold outside and there's no real threat out in the perimeter, you're exposed, and Mizzou was able to find that. Mizzou also, you don't have Justin Smith to rotate inside and to help you out. By the way, you didn't have Justin Smith a year ago. How big of an impact does he have? We'll see. I thought after, people seem to forget, he logged 4 minutes in the first half against Auburn. Arkansas played just as well when he wasn't on the floor. A lot of that was because of matchup. Auburn has talent. Auburn is more talented, in my opinion, than Georgia, probably more so than Alabama, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss. I don't know about Oklahoma State. We know Oklahoma State got that big-time 5-star. If you guys recall, they hired his brother on the staff. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I think they're more talented than a lot of these teams, and Arkansas went on the road and beat them, and mostly they handled that game the same way Mizzou handled today at home for Arkansas. So Arkansas has it in them, even without Justin Smith. Not having Justin Smith, though, is a matchup nightmare for teams like Mizzou, who are pretty bulky inside. So, again, I'm not saying Arkansas definitely does win out. Of course you don't underestimate the SEC. But it's also it's not like the SEC is the Big 12. It's not like really the way things have started out. They're better than people realize they are, even with Kentucky being as bad as they are. But yeah, I'm not underestimating anybody. I'm just telling you, based on what we have seen from Arkansas, and that includes today with how terrible you played, should have lost by 20-plus points, 25 points. They played through this entire game. They played well against Auburn, even without Justin Smith. I like what I see, and I think their odds are pretty good of them winning the bulk of their home games. Now, you needed to win today, but that win on the road against Auburn, to me, kind of balances it out a little bit in terms of, hype for the rest of the year, because, that was a big win. That win on the road against Auburn was big. Bruce Pearl doesn't lose at home. That's something else we tend to forget. This guy's lost, 4 games at home in his career at Auburn? Yeah, that was a big one. Again, that's why I'm pretty optimistic about the rest of the year at home. Now, on the road, it's a little bit different. Tennessee, LSU, Bama, Oklahoma State, Kentucky's down, but it's always tough to play in Rupp, and they've got the talent. At Mizzou, at A&M, yeah, I'm not so confident in those games. South Carolina is like the only road game you look at and you go, okay, all right, I like that. You're going to have to win out. You're going to have to win out at home to make tournament play. Again, without Justin Smith, things just got altered by quite a bit. I had no idea Justin Smith would miss this much time. That does change things a little bit. I had no idea, based on the way Musselman talked about it to the press the other day, it sounded like he might miss maybe 2-3 games. But he didn't want to speculate, but he talked about there was some soreness, some bruising around the injury, but no bones broken. Could be a bruised bone situation they're working with. That typically is a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on the severity of the injury. Instead, you're talking about 3 to 6 weeks. So that does kind of, especially when you talk about matchups like Mizzou with teams that are a little bit thicker and bigger inside, when you've got someone like Connor Vanover who he can get you rebounds, but he's not someone you expect to power his way inside the paint to make plays, right? He's not going to power his way in and get you points. You're going to have to rely on some of your younger guys to come in. Jalen Williams, I thought, came in and played great, by the way. I thought Jalen – let's try this one more time. Let me close this out. I don't know why I can't pull up. This is driving me crazy. I don't like not being able to see the... Yeah, I mean, it's still not pulling up. This is wild. This is pissing me off. All right, here we go. I got it now. ESPN, I guess, is just having problems because their entire page says nobody played. What the hell, man? You're killing me, ESPN. I need my own. I need to just log these stats on my own, don't I? We make the tourney barely if we could stay healthy. They aren't going to the tourney or NIT either. Who's not? Who's not going to the? You're gonna have to clear that up. I don't know who you're talking about. Again, 7'3" shouldn't be missing point blank range shots. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to in chat, Mrs. Growlove, but I mean I agree. I definitely don't disagree with that. Vanover isn't as fast physically with the ball. It looks like he makes up for that by shooting fast around the rim, which leads to a lot of missed shots. It looks like. Well, first off, his putbacks, he ought to be 100% on putbacks, and he's not. Outside, I don't blame him for taking some of those open shots. That's what he does. I don't mind, and he's going to miss a few. That's fine. That's a part of his game. It's a lot like when Isaiah Joe was cold last year. I had people in chat like, oh, why are people so big on Isaiah Joe when he goes cold? It's the threat that he provides Arkansas on offense with his range. It's the same thing with Connor Vanover. Now, is he a legitimate three-point shooter? He's nothing like Isaiah Joe. Please don't take me out of context. Obviously, he's nowhere near that level of a three-point shooter. But he offers that at 7'3" as a guy that can make shots outside at three-point range. He's capable of doing that. So a defense has to adjust accordingly to his ability to do that. When he's ice cold, my opinion is he needs to flush more inside and just let's not have him take 6 or 7 three-point attempts. You know, he's not a true shooter outside. Is he capable of getting hot and making some shots? Yeah, of course he is. Gotta get a swig. Hang on. No, I agree on the officiating too. I really do. Refs are shit. We beat ourselves today. I agree, 110%. Just reiterating thoughts. That's all. Sorry for the confusion. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, we're on the same page. If you're not able to finish at the rim when you've got all that kind of size, and Connor Vanover is. I mean, the guy should be shooting 100% with putbacks. He should be 90%, 85, 90% in the paint with these shots. Nobody's able to outreach you. He can't dunk. I mean, he's missed open dunks. It's their rim, their ability to finish at the rim is non-existent. Anything new on the Odom talking to LSU? No, there's not. I haven't heard anything on that. I think that's just LSU fans being LSU fans. Not saying it won't happen. The Hogs aren't going anywhere. I don't know if I agree with that, Alex. I think that's an emotional take based on the game, if I'm being honest. NIT bound, woohoo. You guys. Every time Vanover missed a putback, you take a drink. P.S. I'm not as think as you drunk I am. Okay, so Bloodline has been drinking. What up, Ty? What's up, Frederick? How you doing, man? It's been a minute. I think we'd be okay. Just first loss. I still think we can still make the tournament. We all got to remember we're still finding our identity, so we'll be okay. Yeah. I don't think it's a time to panic. Again, you played your worst game. I would argue your worst game under Musselman, and you were still in this game. You're within reach, I should say, with 4 or 5 minutes left to go until you get teed up, and then they caught fire a little bit there because they kind of bought into what happened with Musselman getting ejected, and that added a little bit of spirit. But the final minutes just kind of collapsed, and I don't think Arkansas was used to that. They've not lost a single game. They're rarely, if ever, this year outside of the Auburn game in a position where they could probably lose the game. I think, was it Oral Roberts in the first half where you were terrible and you saw the way they bounced back? And they've been a pretty good second-half team this year. But it just collapsed. I think some people are having a little bit of a meltdown because it's your first loss. Don't overlook what you did on the road against Auburn. And that's really your only great game this year against a quality, or a good game against a quality opponent, but I think that game was pretty telling. Off subject, but Alabama offense coordinator headed to Texas to become the head coach. Yeah, we talked about that a minute ago. Is that confirmed? Pollock is the tight end I was thinking of, by the way. David Pollock on SEC Network. Is that confirmed? Did he take the job? Sarkisian? Bobby Bones on Twitter says, responding to Barstool Arkansas, who's blaming the officiating, New Year, same officiating. Bobby Bones says, we aren't losing this game because of officiating, so let's not use that bullet yet. I don't think officiating helped. I'm not seeing where it's confirmed yet, Sarkisian, but that was rumored. Are these numbers working yet? What's going on? There we go. Stat sheet finally up. Okay. The obvious was how bad Arkansas shot. Let's talk about what Missouri did, right? 24-51 from the floor, 47%. Now, like I said, they're not a three-point shooting team, and they were 5 of 19 outside. That puts them at 26%. They were 28-39 at the line. Isn't that crazy, though? A visiting team had 39 attempts at the free throw line. That tells you quite a bit. They were almost 72% there. They ended up with 51 rebounds. Didn't get a whole lot of production. Pickett had 4 assists. I'm talking about their bench, that is. They got some rebounds. They got some assists from their bench, but not a whole lot of point production. They ended up with 10 points off the bench. Tillman had a game. Tillman and Pinson both, 25 and 23. Tillman, who led the way in scoring. I mean, the guy, they just didn't have an answer for him. And I think that's where someone like Justin Smith comes in. I like that Connor, again, I thought they did their best to hinder him in the second half, but he still found ways to score. And Tillman's a good player. Is he 25 points a game? Is he double numbers per game? No, I don't think so. Maybe he is from now on. I don't know. Maybe they'll put him in a new role from here on out. But the guy had 11 rebounds. He only turned the ball over once, 25 points. That's not half bag for a big. Pinson, who, by the way, Tillman, 9 of 13 from the floor. Pinson was 1 of 4 from three-point range, 5 of 11 from the floor with 23 points. Their leading scorer off the bench was, like I said, Pickett, who was their most. 4 assists is not bad. 3 rebounds and 5 points. That's not bad. They say he got 24 minutes. Not bad. So, flipping over to Arkansas, Connor Vanover, who took 11 attempts, the third most attempts from any Razorback on the night. 0 for 11, 0 for 5 from three-point range. All of his points came from the free throw line. You're not going to win very many games when that's the case with Connor Vanover unless he's not logging a lot of minutes. And he got 20 minutes. Your leading scorer was J.D. Note, and I think he's done that at least twice this year coming off the bench. 31 minutes is what he logged, but he got 19 points, 2 steals, an assist, and 3 total rebounds. Arkansas with 36 total rebounds. So that's 51 rebounds for Mizzou. Hang on, let me make sure that's right. Yeah, 51 rebounds to Arkansas's 36. You got killed on the boards. You did force, the only good stat of the night, you forced 21 turnovers to your 9. 21 turnovers to your 9. What the hell? How did they control this game with those kind of numbers? Oh, that's right. They got to the free throw line. I'm sorry. They got to the free throw line way more than they deserved tonight, Mizzou did. I really think that. It was a bad officiated game. But again, it's not why you lost. You lost because you shot 26% from the floor on 71 attempts, and you were 7 of 28 at the three-point range. 25%. You need to be at like 32 just to be average, and you shot 25% on 28 attempts. You were 67% at the free throw line, 23 of 34. Isn't that crazy though? The visiting team had more shots, but again, I mean, I know those final minutes you want to get some fouls. You got some production again. Williams, who I thought came off the bench and played great. He played 17 minutes. Had 2 blocks, 3 rebounds, only 1 offensive rebound, but 2 defensive rebounds. Again, 8 points. And, of course, Tate fouled out. What else is new? And Tate's going to do that, although I think a couple of those fouls were junk fouls. They were not good calls. Devo, who I don't know if we're going to say that he deserved enough to be the guy to step up and be the guy as one of your starting 5 tonight or not. It depends on your matchup. It depends on who you have left to play or what matchup you want, and depending on who you're playing. I don't know that Devo, again, he had 4 points. He's a starter. He logged 20 minutes. He was 2 of 6 from the floor. 0 for 2 at the free throw line. He did have 3 offensive rebounds, which was the second most on the offensive end. Look, he had 16 offensive rebounds, by the way. That's a lot of second chance shots, and you still were just garbage. You were garbage shooting the ball, 26%. Someone's going to have to help me out with that. I don't know. Do you feel bad for all the recruits that signed with Texas on early signing day now that Herman's gone? No. No. Let's see. So Missouri wins bowl game, fire Odom. Texas wins bowl game, fires their head coach afterwards. It's funny how that works out. I hope Sarkisian turns that job down. I do not want him going to Texas. I really don't. Vanover couldn't break a backboard with a step ladder and a sledgehammer. Ooh, that's cold. What is the word on the transfer Johnson playing anytime soon? I don't know. I have no idea. No idea right now. We need Scotty Thurman, Corliss Williamson, Alex Dillard. Why don't we get guys like this anymore? It's not very often you have a Corliss Williamson grow in your backyard in the state of Arkansas. You've had some really good players come out, don't get me wrong, obviously. But it's hard. Corliss Williamson, man, he is a rare talent. Need someone to get that part of their game going. I would love to see Connor play with a little bit more aggressiveness. Jalen, again, I thought came in and did really well. Jalen Williams came in off the bench, logged almost 20 minutes tonight and looked really good defensively. Knocked down a couple of threes, right, or at least one. He ended up, he was 1 of 4. How many? Okay, Connor 0 of 5. Tate 1 of 3. Moody was 4 of 8. shooting the threes. Seals was 0 for 4. Moody had 18 points tonight. I mean, you got some production from Moody, but Connor Vanover, outside of his somewhat okay defensive effort tonight, outside of that, like, you didn't get a whole lot of production on the offensive end. Just too many missed shots, too many missed easy shots, not finishing at the rim, not hitting your free throws. It's just ugly basketball. I mean, that's just, at the end of the day, this was an ugly, ugly game. And Mizzou probably could have won this thing, by 25, 30 points. I mean, it was just terrible. Terrible basketball by Arkansas. Thought they did a good job of not giving up. They never stopped. It was kind of like it looked similar to Sam Pittman. Those guys didn't stop playing for him, and the same thing could be said for these guys even after their coach got ejected. They just kept playing. Impressed with that. I am. Their effort shows. They try to play physical inside. Excuse me. That beer's coming back up. The Suds, they're coming back up. They play with a lot of spirit. They just couldn't get it done. So it's and especially when you look at how bad Mizzou was from they weren't exactly great at the free throw line. They didn't get a ton of production from their bench. They were 5 of 19 at 3-point range. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It sucks. It's a tough one to swallow. You got to get ready and get ready to play Tennessee. I don't think the Tennessee game. Just don't get embarrassed. That's all I ask. It's going to be a tough one. Tennessee's good. Tennessee is really good. Why is there always one butthole that always hits the dislike button? Oh, I know it. I know. There's always one. There's always that guy. Mac Brown back to Texas. They made a mistake firing him to begin with. Look what he's doing at NC. Just to have any of the 90s players from the Nolan teams. Guys, the talent they have on this roster is as good as any of those in the 90s. I know coming off a loss at home to a top 15 ranked Mizzou team has everyone down in the dumps and expected to win this game. I know I did. I didn't expect Arkansas to play this bad. But in terms of talent, you're talking about a top 5, top 10 ranked class along with transfers who've had an impact this year already. Yeah, your roster's in pretty damn good shape. You just played a horribly ugly game tonight. Let's hope they can, hope they just play well against Tennessee and then get ready, I think, for the rest of your year. I shouldn't write them off. Against Tennessee, but good Lord, Tennessee is good. I mean, they are a legit, right now, the way Tennessee's playing, they're a legit Final Four team. Todd Day, Oliver Miller, list goes on. Yeah, Lee Mayberry. If Vanover weighed another 100 pounds, he might be a white Corliss. I'm happy about our Hogs, just tired of Missouri tight. Well, I get that. I get it. I do. They just need more size. Connor isn't more size? You think they need more size? Connor isn't going to do it, especially when he is cold from the outside. Josh Rubble says, I figured about a 50-50 game, bro. We are young, man. Super talented, but young. Yeah, they're young. They are young, but there have been some really good young teams, especially with the way one and done works. There have been some really good young teams. And I think Arkansas is a really good young team. They just I think they needed a loss to bring them down a little bit. I just wish it wasn't as ugly as this one. I wish they didn't play as terrible as they did today. So, yeah. Did you get the sense that this was going to happen during the Auburn game? No. Ruble. Okay. Ruble, whatever. I mean, I don't know you. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. It could be pronounced at least 2 different ways. I think Musselman got ejected to get his team to fight for him, ? No, I don't. I think he did that because he was absolutely pissed at this horrible officiating. And they were bad. I won't deny that. The officiating was terrible. It really was. It was bad. I don't think it's not the sole reason why you lost this game, like I said earlier. So, like my high school principal over the PA system. You're all right, Ty. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Josh Barney Rubble. Nice. Nice. All right. Tough one to swallow. I know it. It is what it is. Hopefully they can learn a lot from this game. I hope they're well prepared and have their big boy pants on for Tennessee. That's going to be a tough game. The plan is to go live after that game, as much as I don't want to, but the plan is to go live after that game for the post game. I will begin editing. I've already kind of started out a script for grading out Arkansas football in the 2020 year. It might be a little bit longer than most of my other videos. It might be one of those 10-minute long videos. I don't know. You guys know. For those of you who've watched enough of my content, you know that I don't like long edited content. I like them to be about under 7 minutes or so. But I kind of want to dive in a little bit to this football season and grade it out. Some of you might be pretty surprised at what I have to say. Maybe a lot of you not so much. So, anyways, I do appreciate you guys for coming through. Remember to like. We got to 31 likes. Got to 31 likes. I don't know if you guys want to, if you haven't yet, if you want to do that, if you want to tap the like button, tap the subscribe button. What time is the game and what channel? Well, for someone who thinks Arkansas is already out of it, Alex, I'm surprised you want to watch the game. 6 p.m. on the 6th. When is the 6th? That's Wednesday. So you've got time to lick your wounds today. You got time. Again, you're not going to have Justin Smith. And to get ready to play Tennessee. And that's going to be on ESPN 2 at 6 p.m. on Wednesday. I'm hoping to have that video out for you guys. The plan is this week, may not. I don't know. We're going back to school this week with homeschooling. Our schedule has changed. Surprise, surprise. We've already learned we're going to have a different teacher. This has got to be the third time my kids have had a teacher change. So it's God only knows how this week's going to go, but not looking forward to it. But again, I'm planning on getting that video out for you guys. And again, Wednesday, we're going to try and go live after the Tennessee game. So try not to don't get all emotional and throw Arkansas out based on these two games. I don't think that's fair to do to this team. They are young, as some of you have pointed out. They are young. They got to learn. They need to be humbled. They're undefeated. They lost one. It's good that you've had this game now. Hopefully you learn from it. Again, hopefully you learn in the same way. Mizzou played far better than they did against Tennessee, obviously. And maybe you can learn from this. You build off of it and get better. I don't expect them to beat Tennessee. The rest of the schedule is still tough. The SEC is not what it was 5-6 years ago. It is a better league, better quality of coaches in this league now. None of these games are a given, like I pointed out earlier, but I do still like their odds at home to win the greater majority of their home games, and that includes Georgia. That includes playing Auburn, who you already beat on the road, assuming you can stay healthy. Now, that is the other part. And Justin Smith being out is a little bit of a... You can't really calculate what you're able to do. I mean, again, what they did in the Auburn game when he left was impressive. I'd like to see them get back to that. Get back, especially on the offensive end, back to that, what they were able to do, going on the road and hanging 97 on a Bruce Pearl team at his house. So, all right, again, share the content, subscribe, check out the links. Hey, if you guys want to become members of the PTM Patreon, I hope that you do it. Come join. I think it was $4 a month. Goes towards helping out the channel. If you don't want to do that, there is a PayPal link provided for you down below. Kind of a tip jar. You could throw a dime in there if you'd like. But until the next time, maybe grab another beer. Maybe grab a couple more beers. Light up a cigar, because I'm going to light this bad boy up. I've got my other one I need to finish, but I want to light this bad boy up tomorrow. Maybe tonight. I don't know. So, until the next time, I'll see you guys around. Woo pig.